All right, we've got RIP Takeoff. We've got RIP Takeoff. We should be live now, Jim. We should be live now. Welcome to another edition of Chicago's very own Mouthpiece Included. This week's topic, Super Bowl summary and the top 5 quarterbacks. That's black quarterbacks of all time. That's what we're on today. The Silver Blacks are back. We had a little hiatus. Anybody who wants to pull up, let's do the same. Pull up. The link is pinned in the chat. But if and when you do pull up, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Please stand by as we do some weekly house cleaning. Please take this time to like, share, subscribe, click that thumbs up. Go ahead and share the link, put it on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Let's get them in the building. Pull up. If you're going to speak nonsense, you shall, you can, you shall, and you will eat crow. All right.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use.
Fair use.
For purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair
use, y'all. Fair use. Click that subscribe, like. Let's get them in the building.
Thompson attacks the closeout, misses the runner. DiVincenzo, what a play! Poole in and out. Opportunity for Memphis. And a whistle.
Yeah, he's going to throw that mouthpiece.
Going the other way. What happened? Steph Curry. Has Steph Curry been ejected? Wow. Steph Curry has been ejected.
He forgot to bring his mouthpiece.
With 1:14 to go and Golden State leading by 2. I believe it's for something he did with his mouthpiece.
What's interesting about that, I don't think that was in reaction.
He forgot to bring his mouthpiece,
yeah. The official on that offensive rebound, he was yelling at Jordan.
See what happens?
Pass him the ball, and Jordan shot it with 12 seconds or whatever on the shot clock from 28 feet. It didn't go in. As Bane misses another free throw, he's normally a great free throw shooter.
So you see the shot by Poole, and Steph is clapping for the ball. Poole doesn't hit it, and that's where Steph is upset. So you're right, JJ. Not anything directed at the officials, but just the act of throwing the mouth guard like that.
And he should have punched Poole.
Ejected.
He'd have been the bad guy. He punched Poole in his face.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube for live streaming, sports, and premium content.
Please like, share, subscribe.
ESPN Plus.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls?
Okay, I'm in my local Ralph's, and this happened.
God understands.
I don't go to church, and I know God understands.
God is up.
Man, where do they keep the honey around here? Excuse me, you know where the honey is?
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of
geez,
girls?
Al. Who wants cheese head?
God understand.
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears. Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls? The Bears!
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a...
Well, guys, let's go to the swimming pool. Let's go take a shower. Let's go water skiing.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
There he is.
Be sure to bring a towel so you don't get all wet.
Mouthpiece included. Yes, sir. Mouthpiece included is back. All right, y'all. Y'all know the topic. In case you don't know the format, we're going to hop on some hot topics of the week. We're going to close it out with the hottest topic, which is the top 5 quarterbacks, black QBs of all time. We're talking all time. All right? Don't suffer from recentism, as ESPN and many of the major networks do. And also, we're going to go over our Super Bowl predictions and cover the game, as we were shut down last week due to travel and lifestyle. Lifestyle. Yes, lifestyle. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get our resident Silverback in the building. Big Ace.
Yeah,
Jackie Robinson's finest.
Mouthpiece included.
Bear down, bear down, bear down, bear down. What up, fool?
What up, fool? What up, fool? What a hiatus. Glad to be back. Enjoyed the travel and all those good things. Very glad to be back. What a Super Bowl, but we'll get to that. What's going on?
Hey, man. Same old, same old. You know, we had our jamboree, the Grand Poobah Jamboree, our annual thing we do.
Yeah. That was nice to see the pictures and the fellowship of you guys. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I do clean up well, if I do say so myself. You know what I'm saying?
Put those photos out there for all the Mouthpiece included faithful to see how well our resident host cleans up for the nation. But yeah, everybody look good, man. Look good.
Appreciate that, bro. I always appreciate that, man. Miami treated you fairly, bro?
Oh, yeah. Escaped the rain and the cold of the south side of Chi to get to the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and dip my toes in the salt water, get some vitamin sun rays into my body, man, and it was much needed and much appreciated. Oh, man, you can never, after going through 2-3 months of no sun, to get some bright sunshiny rays on you, definitely helps the soul.
Absolutely, fam. Absolutely.
And I know you don't have problems out there in the on the left coast, but unfortunately here in the Midwest, that's what we go through every year.
Yeah, well, we had a little weather out here. You know what I'm saying? I still stick to my Midwestern roots. Stay dry, keep my head warm and my feet dry. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah, nothing too major. So, all right, let's jump on it then, bro. All right, see where we're at. Oh, all right, we'll jump right at it. Since we won't really do too much Bears, they're pissing me off. Super Bowl thoughts. Big week, great game. What are your thoughts about the big bowl game there, fella?
It's the greatest Super Bowl in the history of Super Bowls. So they had the
I've been hearing that. The 85 was the best Super Bowl in the history, but go on.
Well, I mean, I digress. Yeah, of course, it being the winning Super Bowl of the Bears. But as far as gameplay and competition, I think it's the greatest Super Bowl I've ever seen. my lifetime. Maybe these guys get back together in a few years or next year.
Wait a minute. The game you enjoyed with the Bears, rate that 1 to 10. Bears Patriots, the shellacking. Rate that 10 is the best, 9 is the best, 1 is the worst. What would you rate that game there, fella? Excitement and, you know.
As a pure Bears fan, it was 14 and a half.
All right. Bears. All right, so this game, what would you rate this game at?
This game, I have to come in at a 10. Bears,
Yeah,
14,
I mean, you're casually watching a game from the beach. You'd have never done that if our Bears were lining up. You'd have been square in front of the TV. You wouldn't have been swimming.
I mean, you know, they had the big screen right on the Oceanside patio. And, you know, it was a great experience not to be because when the Bears played in 86, that February, cold February day, I think the temperature had to be like 20 or 30 below. So I quite enjoyed this game as well as, you know, seeing the Bears play back in the days.
All right. Well, we got the Terminator in the building. You guys, you know, we've been having some technical issues, but can you hear me, fella?
I can hear you loud and clear. We're having a video problem. Talking to my crack production staff to see what we can get solved. Anything or we might have to go to an alternative source in a minute.
Well, what's my man's name? Sideshow Mahomes.
Yeah.
He brought home the hardware, the MVP. You have any issues with that?
No, not at all. I mean, he played a great game. Team played a great game, as well as the Eagles team played a great football game. I was explaining to my son during the telecast that, hey, he's hurt here in the second quarter, but they're going to take him in the locker room, give him the mix. You'll see no signs of that ankle injury in the second half. And I think he's still getting the mix because between, you know, going to Disney World, partying in the shows, he has shown no signs of his high ankle sprain from the first half of that football game where he was hurt, allegedly.
Hey, well, the only, I think, alternative MVP could have been the melanated quarterback on the other side, even in a loss.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if it wasn't Mahomes, it's tough to pick the losing quarterback, but that kid did, you know, you
set a record.
Exactly. So, you know, I can't help but think that if Hurts was some sort of drop dead gorgeous, blonde haired, blue eyed, if he was that kid from Jacksonville and did that, they'd have figured out a way to give him an MVP in a loss. But
full MVPs.
Yeah, well, they've given it to players who lost. You know, they would find a way to justify, you know, giving it to the Jags quarterback. But a melanated got it because they had no other choice. I told y'all, though, the narrative wasn't going to be so much these two great quarterbacks, you know, how smart they are in processing. The narrative became all about the coordinators and Andy Reid. And, you saw that?
Coach both of these teams.
You literally had the league MVP and the runner-up to the league MVP, and all they talked about was various nonsense.
Coach both teams in the history of his coaching. The first team that gave him a chance as a head coach, and the second team that brought him on with the Kansas City Chiefs. No, you know, they weren't winning shit. I mean, can I say that on YouTube?
You can say that.
They weren't winning shite before Patrick Mahomes got there. So, you know, let's talk about it.
Yeah, that didn't surprise us here at Mouthpiece included. We knew what the narrative was going to be. Mahomes, both quarterbacks, like you said, one of them's breaking a record.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they didn't discuss the quarterback play, but it wasn't like the way Fox normally would do it.
Yeah. I mean, for Jalen Hurts to have 300 yards passing, at least 50 yards rushing, and 3 touchdowns, it's only been done once before, and he did it. And then the second time he did it was in the Super Bowl. So the quarterback play was exemplary in this game. And for them not to
highlight it like they do week after week.
Yeah. Well, they're just learning the process.
Well, speaking of processing, if one of those quarterbacks were not processing that game, that would have been highlighted.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He had an early fumble by Jalen Hurts, but he came back and made quite a showing for himself, as well as Patrick Sideshow Mahomes as well. So, I mean, I was excited at the quarterback play, the movement of the team, the processing of the offense.
Some of those throws Hurts made too,
oh,
man.
My goodness. Yeah, you wouldn't think that guys or teams would play at this level when in the big game. You expected it, we predicted it, but to see it out on the field in the Super Bowl was quite amazing. It's an instant classic.
I tell you what, they call the KC playbook genius. It's pretty much the system I've been running on Madden for 10 years now. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you got to get rid of the football.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to get rid of the football. You run, you run to make that play action or those tight end passes available. For whatever reason, it seemed as a genius plays from running the ball, then pass to the tight end and opening up your passing game. So I don't understand what's going on as far as why Andy Reid is considered a genius, or the system is considered a genius system when it's like you said, it's been around since Super Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, like the triangle. I love the triangle, but it was considered genius. But you throw Michael Jordan in any system, and it's genius. Yeah. So, all right, quarterback of the week. This is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going to give quarterback of the week to?
Quarterback of the week. Oh man, I'm going to take.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the route of some of our previous co-hosts and Mouthpiece included guys that drop in and not go either way. I'm having.
This shit is contagious, everybody. This is contagious.
I'm going with quarterbacks of the week: Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts.
I asked Torrey to pick the Super Bowl winner. He's like, I have no idea. I'm like, come on. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's
we both picked that weeks ago to a lot of people's chagrin, or whoever they thought was going to win. Some taking the New York Giants, the last place team in the East to make it to the playoffs. So but
with a quarterback who can't process.
He can't process it. Yeah. He's just getting there.
He's athletic though. He can run.
He can.
But now, the reason, we're going to get into who we picked, but the reason I picked KC was because Mahomes. It's tough to not give it to Mahomes because he gutted it out. Yeah, he gutted it out. He took the mix. He didn't worry about long-term injury to his body and with a chance to get a ring on his finger. Jalen Hurts was a beast out there.
Yeah.
So, gun to my head, I had to pick. Which interesting, Chicago Bears could have had both of those quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, both of those guys could have been playing for the Bears.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go with, because he didn't have the genius offensive coordinator, although both coordinators got head coaching jobs, which we'll get into. I'm going with Jalen Hurts, bro. I'm going with Jalen Hurts. I'm going to take the loser.
All right.
And give him quarterback of the week, NFL record.
You can't lose either way in this particular choice for quarterback of the week with the excellent play by both melanated participants in this game. Yeah, you know, you just can't lose. Maybe I'll go with Jalen Hurts based on the family after the game. You know, his dad or his family wasn't running around talking about smoking the Philly blunts on national television.
And they took the air out of the ball out of fear for giving that guy the ball back. I mean, that says a lot.
They should have. They should have. I mean, the fact that they got up on them 35, 26 or whatever it was, 27, and they still went down and scored and got the 2 points. I wouldn't get that guy the ball back either. I don't think they could have stopped him.
No, they couldn't have.
So,
all right. So that wraps up the quarterback of the week. So we just did our Super Bowl summary. We did our quarterback of the week. Ace and I, we both picked the Chiefs. I had the Chiefs by 3 points. I think you had them by 3 too. And look at that.
Wow.
We picked the points. All right, you guys. We were both, I think, 10-1 in the playoffs each.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's expert game analysis. Although, you know, everything was disrespectful. All of your picks were disrespectful.
All of my picks were disrespectful. How could I pick these teams to win by such margins in the playoffs and possibly get to the Super Bowl?
Right. Right. You know, for any of you kids out there, the real NFL is not a video game. All right.
Yeah, well, you know, some people out there thought these guys couldn't process enough to get to the Super Bowl and play on such a high level, so they picked other drop dead gorgeous, faster processing quarterbacks, and unfortunately, they weren't correct.
And speaking of can't process, Skip Campanis, Skip Bayless. Yeah, he's in the media, and he was quoted as saying, you know, why, which is our next hot topic, Eric B. Enemy.
Yeah.
You know, why certain coloreds can't get jobs. And Skip Bayless was on his show and said it's because of their dirty, nappy-headed black spouses. I mean, I don't know if he said the dirty, nappy-headed part, but I was reading between the lines there.
Yeah, definitely said color.
Yeah. He said that the owners don't know how to relate to these black coaches' wives, and now that's another layer of why we can't get hired.
Yeah. This is 2023, not 1973. Moron, I was going to call you something else, but they would have considered that.
Well, we don't know what's in his heart.
Well, I mean, you know.
He was born in Oklahoma. He was raised by a mammy. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, he's probably
born and raised in Oklahoma in the 50s, one of the most racist states in America.
Got his milk from a black teat as a youth. So, you know, he should understand the intelligence and the, you know, the ability of a melanated woman to run a household and be able to be the spouse of an NFL head coach, which has absolutely nothing to do with running an NFL franchise. It was disappointing that
the co-host didn't ask him for clarification.
Right.
You know,
Rick,
you know what I mean?
Talking about, right. You know,
I've got, you know, non-melanated friends, and every now and then they say something that's questionable, and I don't let that ride. I try to get to the bottom of that, find out what's in their heart.
Yeah. I mean, you know, is it just a misunderstanding or in your head? Or is that in your heart?
Where are you getting this information? Why would you suggest that, you know, what's wrong with their wives?
Yeah.
Is he saying that they're not married to white women? I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I believe it was upon Shannon Shot to get to the bottom of that as a statement came out. But I don't know if he might be just ignoring the things that comes out of Skip's mouth on a daily basis just to keep the checks rolling.
Well, it's a matter of time before, and we've said it on this show before, and it's coming.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless is going to go full Jimmy the Greek on us
Yeah.
within the next year or two. They need to put that guy out to pasture.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have no interest in doing that because they feel that Jimmy the Greek could probably be part of the program there at the, the network. So just put him on out there and let's see what happens. We'll deal with the consequences when it happens.
Well, I guess they're saying, they can't hang out at the country club with him.
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, what's this got to do with coaching football?
Yeah, and the major thing, this is probably the only network that will address the statement that he made concerning prospective NFL head coaches' wives about why they can't get along with the owner
and owners' wives, right?
Yeah. I mean,
that was a bizarre take. And and I think you said he's gonna call Shannon what'd you say he's gonna call him a jigger?
He's gonna call him a big lip jigaboo before it's all said and done.
Big lip jigaboo.
It's coming. It's coming. I don't know how Shannon's gonna take it. They just made the statement that they would keep everything on, on all personal attacks on the in the green room or the pre-meeting rooms, as opposed to letting me come out on the air. But there's no way, if given the opportunity, he's not going to call him a BLJ.
Yeah, because I think if Shannon would have taken his glasses off and asked him for clarity on the wife statement, he would have told him, "Put your glasses back on, you big lip jigaboo." You know what I mean? Shut up and put your glasses back on. I've watched this game longer than you've played it.
You couldn't win as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady if you tried.
These are lectures, not lessons. All right.
Gotta do what you gotta do to get that check, I guess. I mean, come on, Shannon. You can't let them get away with this crap.
Well, let's jump to Eric B. Enemy. Now, he's had over 15 interviews with NFL teams. That's what the number is, 15. And what they were touting, after those other coordinators off the losing squad got hired, they suggested Bieniemy's not interviewing well. Maybe he's bringing his dirty wife.
Yeah.
They also said, well, Andy Reid is the guy. But how do you justify that when both coordinators literally got hired from the Eagles? Yeah. Their head coach is obviously going to be a defensive or offensive guy. So you're throwing your reality right out of the window, especially when the last two KC offensive coordinators, the N-word and others, have coached under Andy Reid's tutelage and got head coaching jobs. But when this melanated guy comes up there with his dirty, nappy-headed black wife, they're suggesting that he's not the genius. He's not the one processing all of the play calls. When Andy Reid himself, after the game, gave it all up to Eric Bieniemy. What are your thoughts on Eric Bieniemy not being able to get a job?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I guess they think that Andy Reid's lying to the NFL world or to the media when he's saying that Eric Bieniemy is really the offensive coordinator. We know that Coach N-word wasn't, because he couldn't call any damn plays. He didn't know what the hell he was doing as far as running the NFL team. Of course, it's harder. You got to be 4 times as sharp and 10 times smarter to get these positions.
Yeah, you got to be like the $6 million man, better, stronger, faster. Go ahead.
Well, 15 interviews is absolutely ridiculous. If the first 3 or 4, you're learning the process of interviewing in the NFL. If Andy Reid's such a genius, he can also help him articulate or make his way through an NFL interview to get the head coaching job. So, I don't know what the backstory is about, a 2-time Super Bowl coordinator not getting a job in the as a head coach winning 2 out of the last 3 damn Super Bowls. But you know,
Well, and then I was hanging on the hope that, okay, maybe he's in line to replace Andy in the next, 3 to 5 years. But then it came out that wasn't even the case. And once he got wind of that, no, we're not hiring you either. He went and took a job with the Commanders on a lateral move.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even when Coach N-Word went back there, he was suggesting being the successor.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
And we said, well, how can they overstep the guy that's already there, that's doing the job, that's winning Super Bowls? But
and who hasn't had an opportunity to prove that he can't do it on the head coaching level, as N-Word has proven he sucks as a head coach.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't understand where what's going on. I mean, of course they'll say he's a bad interview, this, that, and the other. It doesn't seem like he can run an NFL franchise, but he's the coach. He's not the general manager or the president of the team. He's out there to get the X's and O's done on offensive and defensive and take care of the entire team. So he's got 2 Super Bowls under his belt, and the rest of these guys that they're hiring have 0. So I can't fathom what the excuse is, except that he's melanated and maybe he brought his wife with him, and that's why he can't be an NFL head coach.
Well, if I'm Bieniemy and his family and his team, I'm going to use reverse psychology. It's worked for me in the corporate arena. No, I'm not interested in none of your promotions. You know what I mean? Reverse psychology. I'm above this. I'm not interviewing anymore. I've done this 15 times. I'm going to be an offensive coordinator and win Super Bowls. And then they'll, he can't control his destiny. We control his destiny. You're going to take this promotion. You know what I mean? I'm not interviewing anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing.
Yeah, and I think the situation he's going into Washington as assistant head coach, where he can control the entire offense and lead the defense to Ron Rivera.
But again, the white boys don't have to do all that. We've talked about this on the show. Like, they'll give these guys credit, and they'll be coming under somebody's tree. And I've even pointed it out. I'm like, look, if Ace is a defensive coordinator and I'm under his tree, I should be the offensive coordinator if we were having some success. Right. Then hire me as a head coach. But the guy coming up under your tutelage on the defensive side, I can understand, kind of not getting the job. We have discussed that. But it doesn't seem to play out when it's the white boys. The white boys are getting the jobs anyway.
Yeah, they bring back the Cindy or Becky.
Karen.
Yeah, and they commiserate with owners' wives, and they go to the country club, and they can figure out how to set up the team charities and all these things. And unfortunately, Bieniemy doesn't have the same type of situation going on, so he can't be an NFL head coach.
We have to research his wife. She's probably from the Wild Hunters or something. There's something going on there.
She might be Becky, and they just don't.
And maybe they don't like that. Yeah, that was the questions that, I wanted to get to the bottom of. But all right, let's push past that. We did our Super Bowl summary. The hottest topic is top 5 black QBs of all time. We're going to be there very shortly. But the Bears went and purchased 5 acres of land at Arlington Stadium. That new melanated president went in there and got a contract done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he came in there for, to get the contract done. And those owners are in trouble.
Who is?
The owners. It looks like Eric Bieniemy is married to a Karen. Maybe they just didn't research him enough. Anyway,
maybe that's the issue.
Yeah. It's 2023. We don't know what's in their hearts.
Yeah, we don't know what's in their hearts. Interesting. So we got the land. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, Justin Fields needs to go ahead, and he's been taking this Super Bowl. He's interviewing with anybody. We could have got an interview with Justin Fields Super Bowl week. I mean, he'll sit down and talk, and I don't like playing in the wind and the cold, and we got to build a dome. And listen, Justin and your team.
Yeah, next year we're going to get the credentials for the Super Bowl. We'll start working on it now. We'll be out there on press row, and we can talk to Justin Fields and all young, up and coming melanated players. What does it take? I mean, you got 10-year-olds out there. We're gonna start working on it right now.
Yeah, I mean, he literally says, he doesn't like throwing in the weather and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, bro. You play in Chicago, man. Like, I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. He's saying build a dome, and all right, but you probably won't have that stadium for 3-4 years. In the meantime, meanwhile, you know what I mean?
Those elements, young fella.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he's requesting out to the NFL schedule makers to make sure the Bears play. They got their division games, which are domed in Minnesota, domed in Detroit. And then soon they'll be domed in Chicago. And he's saying FGB, keep all the rest of the games either in warm weather or, a dome stadium. Maybe that's his request as a soon-to-be NFL superstar.
Well, this dome stadium breaks my heart. I wish it was a retractable dome, so we could have some games in the elements. Now, those games, if you want to close it off for a concert or the Super Bowl, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Certain games where it might be a fog bowl or 40 below zero, you might want to close it off. But, I don't think the wind will be that bad out there in Arlington, as opposed to being right there on the lakefront.
With the dome costing billions of dollars and the fans that are paying for those seat licenses and all that crap, and the Bears Village they're going to build out there, they don't give a damn about no elements. They want to go to a football game and and see the game, and they don't want the elements anymore. It is what it is.
Yeah, I just wanted to be on record. But this seems like a sure sign, though. I know the Soldiers Field people, Mayor Lori Lightblunt, she's, they got a proposal with putting a dome on Soldiers Field. Well, why don't they stop that and start a proposal? I mean, me and Coach drove right past there on South Lakeshore Drive. All that land, the roads are already paved. You can put a stadium right there. Why don't they build a proposal for a stadium there and say, hey, the city will pay for part of it, but you guys own it. Why don't they do something like that?
Yeah, they've gotten away with it for years. The Bears not owning the stadium and not having to put any real money into it. So they're fine. They were fine with it until the Bears say, hey, wait a minute. Why are we staying here? Why are we playing in this crap stadium and this crap park and no tailgating? We don't own anything around the damn stadium. Why don't we just move?
Bro, that land is perfect. I'm saying if you really wanted to, I'd even tell them the land is yours. We'll give it to you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Absolutely. As opposed to, and you build, you own it. But we're going to create revenue off to everything else that we do, the jobs and everything else. But we can't have you guys leave here. Like, stop trying to make the Bears a money grab for the city of Chicago.
Well, they've done it for so long, and now you got a
melanated president.
Melanated president. He's like, Chicago.
If you guys don't know one thing about the black man, we're going to look at the numbers. This shit makes no sense. I can't keep paying for this.
Right. It makes absolutely no sense. And they won a Super Bowl before Mother McCaskey kicks the bucket. Man, we out of here.
I still say that land, when I drove past there or rode past there, I'm like, look at all this land. It's already flat. They even got the roads paved and everything. I'm like, Why are we still pitching Soldier Field to the Bears when we've got all this pristine land right there? You know, you can start gentrifying all those brown people out there. It's like a Hispanic neighborhood. They'll complain. You know, am I with gentrification? We'll talk about it another day.
It's going to happen.
It's going to be gentrified. All right, right.
Obama Library coming up on the east
Right.
side. So it's about to happen anyway.
Right. So you got the North Shore. Now you'd have a true South Shore.
Mhm.
You know, yes, but it's not going to happen.
Even the plan they should have put in place once they lost the Olympic bid, the area where Michael Reese Hospital, shout out to Michael Reese Hospital where I was born, was bought and supposed to be developed for the Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't know what financially happened, but the city took over and confiscated that land, and they could have proposed that to build a new stadium for the Chicago Bears that could have housed the Super Bowl. They said they can't tear down Soldier Field. They could have gave it to the soccer team. The soccer team is going to be playing there now after the Bears leaves anyway. So
they could have gave it to whoever's been using it for all these concerts and all this and that, messing the field up. Yeah. Y'all can have this and use it for whatever y'all been using it for. The Bears will play one game against the Packers every year in Soldier Field, and that's it.
Or even these games that they're playing at Wrigley with Northwestern, they could play at Soldier Field as opposed to trying to squeeze a damn end zone into a damn baseball stadium now. I know they used to play there years ago, but it's you got a field that can house college games and used to house college games. So use that field for that, or high level concerts, like you said, or even high level high school games. You can bring in all kind of college games. Get U of I up here every damn year for a couple of games, or
bring some teams up from the SWAC. Get NASCAR in there, right?
Yeah, SWAC. And they used to have races in Soldier Field. They used to do racing in Soldier Field. So somebody need to use their damn brain to figure out how to make money off the stadium as opposed to trying to hold the Bears hostage.
Yeah, the Bears don't want to be in there no more. I mean, fine, let's move past that and stop presenting Soldiers Field. Ace is like, if your house was a what do you call that, a money pit.
Yeah.
And you and the family are beyond this house. You're moving. You're going to build from the ground or whatever. And they keep saying, but no, we can remodel this house and we can tear down those. No, it's not big enough.
Right. We put 4 more bathrooms in there, and it's going to be gold.
Right. It's like no, and we're going to keep renting it to you.
You're going to rent it to you. You never own it. That's right. You never own the parking. You never own any part of it.
Any of it.
So how long are you going to go with that? I don't know how much they were paying Ted Phillips as to keep that deal going, but it had to be a certain amount, to say, hey, there's no reason for the Bears to own the stadium. We'll do all the maintenance, upkeep. We'll just give you a check, and we'll figure it out.
And Ace, before we go to our main topic, I've been telling you the Bears need to shut down this trade Justin Fields nonsense. Oh, it's all over the place. And now this Brock, whatever his name is the second coming of Pat Mahomes. He's 5'10". We don't know if he's as tough as Mahomes. We don't know what's in this kid's heart, but he's the second coming of Pat. First of all, if we wanted Pat Mahomes, we should have drafted Pat fucking Mahomes. Second of all, we've got what's that?
Or Handy J or Jalen Hurts, all of them.
Yeah, but I'm saying, right. But okay. But yes, but this is, so you're telling me these pundits are saying on the one hand, Fields needs to learn how to pass, he needs to do this and that, and this other guy is the second coming of Mahomes, and you're going to reset the clock. Okay, you're saying that on the one hand, but then you're saying, but the Bears can get a first-round pick for Fields. So why would another team want to give up such high draft capital for a bum? This should be a red flag in the Bears' mind.
Yeah, they know he's going to be on the all-time list one day in his lifetime. So, yeah. Going back to what I stated, they were letting this rhetoric go around to increase the value of the draft pick. Now it's definitely time to cut it down. We're not trading Justin Fields. The pick may be on the market if you want it. If not, we're going to draft a player at number 1, and we're going to keep it moving. So, but yeah, it's time for Poles to come out and shut it down. Take his quarterback out of the interview pool, trying to defend what's going on in the organization, and stand up for the quarterback and the Bears organization as far as what they're going to do.
Yeah, because did you see what that the new coach of I think Arizona did? First thing he did, the team owner told him, our Mooley quarterback is in the weight room. The owner was like, get in there on him right now. He said something like that. I'm like, damn. Yeah. But he went right to him. He gave him confidence. You know what I'm saying? A vote of confidence. This is our guy. This is what you do, bro. I'm sorry. This is what you do. Now, if you're in the back end, if you're going to renegotiate and cut him, that's one thing. But right now, he's your guy, and he has to believe that he's your guy.
He's your guy. I mean, he had a bum record, but there's no way you're going to get rid of this guy. First move coming in. If he's a bum, he's going to be a bum next year, and you'll have a high draft pick again. Draft your quarterback next year.
Correct. That is correct. But if you trade Fields, what they're trying to do,
Fox News, coach.
The league is cut off that background noise. The league is your TV in the background, coach. You got to mute that. So the league is trying to run a Jedi mind trick on the Bears. Yeah. They're trying to get this future Hall of Famer, just in time, just incredible, onto Atlanta or the Jets. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to, snatch him right from under us. And if he goes off, they better trade him to the AFC, because he's going to be destroying the Bears in the future.
He's going to butthurt him just like Patrick Mahomes does every time he sees a Chicago franchise in front of him out there on the field. He's still upset that they didn't draft him. I think they talked to him.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Yeah, look out now.
Mute the background noise, or we're going to mute your sound. We're not doing that today. We're not going to have background noise in the middle of the show.
Unfortunately, we're
not going to do that anymore. We're getting feedback from our viewers, and they don't appreciate hearing background Fox nonsense during the show. Yeah, righty. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have a mute button? All right, there, fella. Welcome aboard, Coach. Jim's recovery. What's the business, bro? What you want to speak on? We've had a lot of topics. Oh, my fault. Let me unmute you.
All right. Yeah, I heard y'all talk about Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Talking about the first round.
And this is a Packer fan, you guys. This is a Packer fan. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Genuine GB.
Maybe a Republican. We're not sure.
We don't know what's in his heart.
You know what's in my heart. Good. That's all that matters.
California love. But yeah, you was gonna speak on Fields, bro.
Yeah, well, he owed the clock. This is last year.
This is not his last year, but go ahead.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm still sticking with them trading down. They're thinking about a defensive tackle. Somebody
3 technique.
Yeah, I forgot what school he was from. But I didn't think they needed defensive tackle. You think they need a defensive tackle?
Oh yes.
They can't stop the run at all.
Yes, and we need some rushing straight off the down lineman.
Yeah.
Where you don't need blitzing. But Coach, before you go further, would you trade Fields if you were offered a first round pick for him? And then you can get the quarterback who's the future Pat Mahomes. He's 5'10", coach.
Would I have 2 first round picks? Would I do that?
You could still trade down and end up potentially with 3 first round picks. You trade, well, no, you wouldn't trade down. You'd go get your guy. So you would still have 2 first round picks. Yes, you draft Bryce Young, you trade Fields, and have another first round pick. Yes. Would you consider that as a businessman? You're a business owner.
I think I would consider it. I really do think I would consider it. You know what I mean? Well, they need to rebuild. You know what I mean? If they can get another quarterback, you know, and another top offensive player, I think it would be great.
All right. So you would consider it.
Trade him while the money is there and while the stock is up. Trade him now and get you 2 picks. But they hadn't had a first round pick in what, 6 years?
A first
5
round.
years?
Yeah, you talking about first round pick. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, I would go for the 2. I really would go for the 2.
So you trade a potential Hall of Famer in Justin Fields for an unproven rookie.
Well, I was listening to y'all say Patrick Mahomes. They could have got Patrick Mahomes. They could have got Hurts.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be. But who's to say they would have done good in Chicago? Who's to say that?
I
mean, you know what I mean? Who's to say they would have been who they
I
are?
am, because I've been saying it from the beginning. So now, what you go by the character of a quarterback, you know, the toughness, how I can get him in and out of the huddle. Does the team believe in him? So what I'm saying is, when you see certain qualities, even with Handy J, his coach called him the next Michael Jordan. When you have people talking about work ethic, coach, and how these guys are the first into practice and the last to leave, how they're doing everything that's asked of them, you know, and then you see toughness. See, that's stuff that can't be coached. You know, when you was offensive line in the Lutheran division, they couldn't coach your toughness. Running around there being a pulling guard and grabbing the opposing linebacker by his balls, you know what I mean, and doing what it takes. I know you were grabbing their balls. I know you were. Look at him. He don't want to talk about it on national TV. You know what I mean? Spitting in their face. But I'm saying it's a certain nastiness. I'm going off what I seen from Fields. I would not move him. That boy is ready, man. He broke NFL records last year. NFL records.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just, you know, I'm not knocking Justin Fields at all, man. He had a real good season. But when you look at you ain't had a first round pick in 6 years. 6 years, 6 years.
Justin was drafted in the first round. I
would go for the 2, bro. I would go for the 2 picks, man. They was at the bottom. One first round pick, I don't think gonna get them over the top. I just don't think it's gonna get them. Even along with the other how many more picks they got? They got 6 more picks, right? They got a total of 6 picks and the first round, right? So 7 picks.
We got a second round pick. So you would move Justin Fields.
Yeah, I would get 2 first round picks. I'll give you another quarterback. And a skill player.
Who would you get as a quarterback?
With that boy Young.
Bryce Young.
About him.
He's 5'10", coach. He's 5'10". He weighs 190 pounds on a good day.
He's from a good program though.
So is Justin Fields.
From the same program.
Yeah. You know how I feel.
No, I don't.
he's a fudge packer. Why are we listening to him? He's a fudge packer. All right.
You know they on the clock, coach. You know they on the clock with me.
Yeah, he's there on the clock because they're melanated. The president's on the clock. The head coach. I tell you what. Yeah, I've told Ace, if Ryan Pace trades Justin Fields, I want Ryan Pace out of town. Not Ryan Pace. Poles.
No, the other dude.
Poles.
Yeah.
And I would not bear down for a minimum of 7 years.
Yeah. All right. I hear you.
But I don't think the melanated president of the team will allow our partially melanated general manager the ability to get rid of a 6'3", 235-pound quarterback to go out and draft a 5'10", 190-pound quarterback with a porous offensive line and put them out there and think we're going to win some football games.
Right. The only thing they're saying about that move, Ace, is it restarts the rookie clock. But you can do that.
About the rookie clock.
Right.
Right. You gotta pay him anyway. Quarterbacks
right.
$200 million. You got to pay. So pay it and let's get it cracking.
Man.
Like I said,
what are the damn Packers going to do next year when they get rid of Smug Rogers and you got your melanated quarterback out there, Justin Love running around?
Yeah, nobody got rid of Smug Rogers when he was when his rookie clock ran out.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to have about $6 to $9 million in cap space. They released Muhammad, and they're supposed to be releasing White.
No, they got 90 million. They're close to 100 million in cap space.
No, I'm just talking about extra. I know about the 100 million, the 90 million, but I'm talking about that's going to add on to the,
yeah,
to what they can do, So they're supposed to be they let Muhammad go already, and then man, he didn't play well at all, man.
But he's a bum. That's why they got rid of him.
Yeah, they just took a chance on him. They took a flyer on him because he had played in Indianapolis, and they thought they can, bring out his best. Yeah. But they're making roster. They need space to put all these draft picks and these new free agents we plan on getting. They need space for that literally on the roster. So let's jump past this and get to the top 5 quarterbacks of all time. You hear that, Coach? And then we're not talking about the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, smart, conservative quarterbacks with MAGA hats in their life.
Quarterbacks?
Yeah, we're talking about the woke ones, the quarterbacks. They woke. They woke,
all right.
Coach.
All right.
They don't have this list on Fox.
They'll never cover this on Fox. Top 5 quarterbacks of all time. But before we jump there, there has been some NBA movement. So I do want to get you guys' top 4. So basically predict your Eastern Conference championship and predict your Western Conference championship. So I got Celtics Bucks in the Eastern Conference chip. And I'm going to go with the Nuggets and Suns in the Western Conference chip.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I go with the Bucks in Boston because Brooklyn get ready to fall off. Although they seem to be looking pretty good after the trades.
Yeah, one player.
And then I'll go with Phoenix. Now Durant is in Phoenix now, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't play.
Now what the Westbrook is still in Utah?
Who cares?
He's still in Utah?
Yeah, they're gonna get rid of him.
I don't know the second team over there.
Well, Denver's in first place. Yeah, the Clippers are looking good. I picked them earlier this season. Yeah. You got the Warriors. You can't ever count them out.
Yeah, you can't count them out. I would pick
LeBron got some shooters around him now, and he picked up D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, but the Lakers know. The same thing you said. They got the MVP from the shithole country.
Shithole country.
Denver. Phoenix picked up Durant once he gets another couple weeks of bed rest. He'll be ready to play out there. And the teams we've been picking all year along in the East is Boston and Milwaukee. So
you got Boston, Milwaukee in the East. Who you got in the West, Ace?
Same thing. Phoenix and Denver. I mean, Denver is they're a good team.
That's what I've been saying. That team's been the same for years. They got to count for something.
It might be their breakthrough year. People are counting on Kyrie and Luka to get it done. But, there's only one basketball.
No, yeah. Kyrie woke. He ain't gonna get nothing. He woke. He on the clock. Kyrie on the clock. Coach and O Kyrie on the clock. He made them statements about those people, boy. Talking about blacks are Hebrews.
Yeah, but who was the people? Who was these groups he had to apologize to? I ain't never heard of these damn groups, man. Like who the hell are they?
Anti-Defamation League of Benai Brit. You've never heard of them before this?
My goodness.
Well,
yeah, they don't get they don't talk about them.
Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna pick our top 5 all-time quarterbacks. These are your melanated quarterbacks, Coach. Again, they're probably not.
All right.
They're probably not MAGA. Some of these guys could be woke. I ask that we don't hold that against them. My number 5 greatest quarterback of all times is the alleged dog abuser. I'm going with Michael Vick. He makes my number 5 of all time. He's number 5. Michael Vick. Ace, who's your number 5?
Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm working with my crack staff, but hopefully you can hear me well. My number 5 is the same. I got Michael Dirty South Vick at number 5.
You see that? There's some concept. There's some singularity here. Coach, who are you going with? Your number 5. We're talking about including all of them in the history of black quarterbacks.
It's Steve McNair.
Damn it, I don't have him on my list.
Steve McNair, man, he was a beast.
He was 5.
I'm not gonna argue with that. Damn,
he was a beast, man.
Rest his soul. I don't have him.
Rest his soul. Rest his soul.
I don't have him on my list, and I'm looking at my list. Ooh, I'm gonna leave Michael Vick, but if I had to replace it, it would be with Steve McNair. Great call, Coach. Great call.
Yeah,
all right, Coach, which says
he was 5'8" for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, he's saying he's 5'8", but yeah, he gets an honorable mention on my list. Can't argue with that, Coach. Go with your number 4. Who's your number 4 and your greatest all-time quarterback?
My number 4.
Yeah,
my number 4 would be Dante Culpepper.
Interesting. Interesting. All right, Ace, number 4.
My number 4 on my list was Warren Moon.
Not going to argue with that. Warren made my list. Culpepper did not make my list. I'm going with Randall Cunningham is number 4 on my list. Randall Cunningham. Y'all remember the Fog Bowl game? Nobody could see. My number 3, I'm going with Warren Moon. Ace, what's your number 3?
My number 3, I'm getting down to the guys with chips. Doug Williams. Doug Williams is my number 3.
Doug Williams. Coach, who's your number 3?
My number 3 would be Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham.
Interesting. Okay. All right. And then what's your number 2, Coach?
My number 2, I'm gonna have to put Patrick Mahomes up there because they got him number 2, top 5 overall, which I didn't understand why Montana and Bradshaw didn't make. Bradshaw didn't make the list. I'm just talking about overall in general.
Right. Yeah, they got to get more of those white boys on that list.
So I'll give Patrick Mahomes number 2 in this situation. I'll give him number 2.
Yeah, in this situation with the other colors, he could be number 2. But how dare you put him on a list with those good looking white guys?
I had to give him number 2. I have to.
All right, we got you. Ace, who's your number 2 quarterback all time?
My number 2, I got Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson was initially my honorable mention, but now he would be like number 7, judging it all. I'm going with, but I can't argue Russell Wilson. I'm going with Doug Wilson. Doug Williams is my number 2. Doug Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the first melanated to get a Super Bowl, as Ace mentioned. Also, he did more than shut up and dribble. He accepted his role, and he was woke. So I'm going with Doug Williams. And then number 1, I went with Sideshow Mahomes, Coach, regardless of the fact that, you know what I mean? You know, on this list, I have to go with Pat Mahomes as the number one greatest, from what I've seen, black quarterback in the history of professional football. Ace, who's your number one overall?
My number one is Patrick Sideshow by Mahomes, as of having 3 Super Bowl appearances in his first five or six NFL seasons. He's my number one.
And 2 Super Bowl MVPs, could have had 3, could have gotten one as a loser. And he's had 2 season MVPs and also one first team All-Pro and several Pro Bowls, all 5 Pro Bowls. So, and his numbers are better than Tom Brady's at a comparable part in the first 5 years.
Oh, are you sure about that? Do we have to check on that? We got to have Fox check on that.
Yeah, well, we'll have Fox verify the numbers. So who's your GOAT, Coach?
I'm gonna go with Doug Williams because he was the first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl.
I mean, he's number 2 on my list, so I can't argue that too much. Hey, so who's your number 2? Warren Moon?
My number 2 was Russell Wilson.
You slid Russell Wilson in there, which I can't argue with that. You know, he's had 1 or 2 questionable seasons, and everybody wants to flush his whole name down the toilet. And then when he plays good football this year, they're going to give the coach all the credit.
Yes. Coach came in, helped him process. It was Sean Payton came in to help Russell Wilson process the system they got going out there in Denver, and he got a good coach.
Yeah, Sean Payton. So that's the main topic. Y'all got anything else y'all want to chime in on before we hit our final? Coach, what you got to say about Eric B. the enemy can't get a job?
Who was that?
Eric B. the enemy. Eric B. enemy. He's the offensive coordinator for KC. Can't get a head coaching job.
Yeah, it's tough. He's black, right?
Yeah, he black. He on the clock.
Yeah, he on the clock. They on the clock. Wow. There's probably a lot of them that can't get a job, Coach.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, but both the Eagles coordinators on the offensive and the defensive side got head coaching jobs after losing the Super Bowl.
Yeah. They were what?
They was non-melanated.
Yes. That's enough. That's enough said, man. You already know. You already know. It's no secret. There's no secret about this, man. You know.
Well, enemy. He moved. He left the Chiefs to go be the offensive coordinator for the can't say Redskins no more. The Commanders, the Washington football team.
Yeah, the assistant head coach. So that's how they were able to get him out of Kansas City, by giving him the assistant head coach title and the offensive coordinator title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And your boy Skip Bayless said he's probably not getting a job because his dirty, nappy-headed wife. Yeah. But they researched and said his wife is pink. So, but Skip Bayless was saying that they think these black coaches' wives could be the reason why they're not getting these jobs. I'm not making this up.
Yeah, Skip Bayless is something else. That dude, man.
Well, I'll tell you, with ESPN, you don't know what's in his heart, allegedly.
Is that show on Fox or is it on ESPN?
Hey, but Ace, I wanted to ask you about your boy, Michael Booger Sugar Irving. So he was at, before the Super Bowl, he was out at the Marriott, and they got him on video. An employee walked up to him. He spoke to her for less than 45 seconds. And then she called the police and said sexual assault, but they're finding no evidence of it. Now, Michael Irvin was banned from from the NFL Network as a result of this for the Super Bowl weekend. He lost money. You ain't seen him on ESPN since. Nobody's even talking about it. Stephen A. Smith ain't even. If this was Kyrie Irving, they'd be all over it. But what are your thoughts on this, Ace? And then I'm gonna throw it to you, Coach.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that that without any evidence that he was taken off of the NFL broadcast for the Super Bowl just on speculation or whoever this chick was. And he's got a bunch of non-melanated witnesses to claim or to verify that he just talked to the woman for 45 seconds. So there was no reason for them to take him off of this broadcast. But you have the situation where now everybody's scared of the litigation that he's launched against
$100 million suit
against this woman and the Marriott Inn, whoever wants to be involved.
That's a lot of booger sugar.
That's a
Hey,
lot.
what was she? Was she white or black?
I don't know. They ain't shown her.
I think she was white.
Yeah, she was. And
She was white.
Yeah.
And then Michael Irvin, he's the wild type, sort of kind of. He's loud spoken. He probably made just a simple phrase. You look nice, you look good, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Come up to my room later after you get off work, something like that.
Somebody just said hello.
So yeah.
He said, the guys that were with him were saying that he wasn't even drinking because he had to work in the morning. So he talked to this woman for a span of 45 seconds, and her allegation,
she's white,
cost him the ability to broadcast during this Super Bowl, one of the greatest Super Bowls, I believe, in NFL.
And I have not seen him on ESPN. Like, he's always on there with Stephen A's show and yapping about the Cowboys. I ain't seen him on there since.
Wow.
So we got to go. I haven't looked at the list of people being sued by Urban. I would have to assume that maybe NFL Network and maybe ESPN was included in the lawsuit for him not to be on there since this incident happened.
Yeah, for $100 million. Yeah.
And speaking of lawsuit, Brent Favre is suing a major podcaster, and he's suing the Big Lick Jigaboo. What's his name, Ace?
He's suing Shannon Sharp?
Yeah, he's suing Shannon Sharp. He named Shannon Sharp, and this white boy's got the podcast, because they went in on him for his alleged thefts of the monies in the state of Mississippi. Yeah, Brent Favre suing him, Coach. Brent Favre suing him.
Yeah. He ain't on the clock.
No, he ain't on the clock.
Yeah,
he ain't on the clock.
No criminal charges. No litigation against him for being a scumbag.
Allegedly. An alleged scumbag. And here's the thing. But here's the thing, they always say allegedly. Now, that's the problem. Because Shannon went in on him. He did. But I know him and Skip were saying allegedly. And why you just named Shannon? Why you ain't named the network?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to pick on hopefully the weak, the BLJ, and then he wants to go after the podcaster and try and break him financially because you're allegedly a scumbag. So
yeah.
So we'll see what happens in this.
Yeah.
That's your boy, Coach. You got that Green Bay flag in the background. You raised your kids on Brent Favre. Yeah, look at that. Look at the role model he is, allegedly. Stealing money from the welfare funds, allegedly, in Mississippi.
Yeah.
You think he did that? He ain't do that. Why would he have to do that?
Because he's a scumbag, allegedly.
Well, I say that all the time when they say some NFL football player got caught with dope in his car. I ask that question all the time. Why would he have to do that? But that doesn't hold up when it's melanated.
You think he did speeches that they paid him to do that he never did?
You say what?
You think he did the speeches that they paid him to do that he never did?
Well, he had some reason he explained.
Oh yeah, he was a scumbag, alleged scumbag.
Allegedly. All right. Well, Coach, give us your final words, and then we're gonna throw it to Ace.
Final words. I don't know if y'all talked about this, but y'all do know that the Bears did sign for Arlington Heights. So
we discussed it, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all discussed that.
But go ahead.
So they are definitely gone. And then hopefully we'll get a new NFL team. You know, we get a new NFL team, and you got to remember that St. Louis has got a dome down there with no football team in it. So that'll even the brackets out. We get our new football team, and St. Louis get their new football team. I hope to see that. And Chicago have 2 teams. Closing words.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to throw it to Ace for his final words.
Hopefully you can see me for a minute or two. Yeah, there's not another football team that's coming to Chicago, and St. Louis is not getting another team. You know, the league owners want to keep that pie the way it is. It's greed, and that's the way it's going to be. You fans that want the Bears to be renamed because they're moving to Arlington Heights, this is possibly the only new name that they can get, the Chi-Town Football Bears. But the Bears are going to keep the Chicago Bears name, their original franchise, and they're going to build a stadium for them. And just like the Cowboys are playing in Arlington, Texas, and they're the Dallas Cowboys, the Bears will be the Chicago Bears for the rest of the history of this NFL. You think they're going to get another team and put them in Soldier Field? Absolutely not going to happen. This is Chicago, baby. Out.
All right. Those were fine final words. I'm just going to wrap this up by saying I am anti-dome in the city of Chicago. If they want to go off and be the Chicago Bears of Arlington Heights, we understand that here in the LA area, you know. If that's what they want to do, then, you know, God bless them. I will support the team. I will not support the team if they decide to trade just in time. You know, we could have traded Walter Payton, got another running back off his rookie clock. You know, if you want to trade away legends and Hall of Famers. Justin Fields is a Hall of Famer. I said that day one when I saw Big Frank Thomas. I said it when I saw Barry Bonds. There's certain guys, I said it when I saw Michael Jeffrey Jordan play in the NBA. There's certain guys who you watch them and you say, okay, yeah, this is a Hall of Famer. And it has more to do with productivity on the field. It has to do with work ethic, processing, holding himself accountable, you know, working hard, getting the team in and out of the huddle, toughness, grit, dedication. And this guy, Justin Fields, has that. As far as our greatest quarterbacks, as you guys can see, we've had some great ones. Many went unmentioned because we only did top 5. And I'm here to say that I'd put any one of these melanated quarterbacks in the right situation as some of these other guys have been in, and they would produce Super Bowl champions if the team that they played for was more dedicated to making them put them in a good position as opposed to trying to prove a premise that, you know, the black quarterbacks can't process and don't work hard and don't study film and don't understand what's going on around them. So those are my final words as far as that goes on this topic.
Speaking of Michael Jeffrey, happy 60th birthday this week to GOAT, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yeah, happy 60th, MJ 23. We saw that you gave $1 million to a major white charity.
Yeah.
But
$10 million.
Yeah, he did it. You know what I mean? So you can't. They always say he don't, you know, give money, but he gave up $1 million on the 60th birthday to Make-A-Wish Foundation. So big
MJ 2360, baby.
MJ 2360.
HBCU to reciprocate.
Facts. All right, y'all. So we got the Self-Love Show coming up in about an hour and 10 minutes on this channel. We're unpacking Tyree Nichols. Very tragic case. Mm-hmm. We're going to unpack that. Next week, Mouthpiece included. What should the Bears do? They on the clock, Coach. That's our top. Yeah, they on the clock. What should the Bears do? We touched on it here today, but we're going to be more in depth. We'll get you a mock Bears draft. And, in this station, we take pride in our analysis. We're both combined. We were 20-2 over the playoffs, including the Super Bowl. That's magnificent. That is magnificent. So, if you ever find yourself dipping, sliding through the city of Chi, you might be going down 76th Street. You better keep your head on a swivel. Better check your six. Better watch your back. Better guard your grill. You better knuckle up.
Wise guy, huh? And don't forget to
bring your mouthpiece.
and don't forget to
bring your mouthpiece.
and don't forget to bring your mouthpiece.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, don't forget it.